holy crap, yeah, I'm making another Call of Duty Ghosts video? What's going on? Well, honestly, I played about 6 hours of the multiplayer, and I have a bunch of gameplay sitting around, so I'm going to do something with it. So, I want to talk about Ghosts itself. The last video was talking about Advanced Warfare. This one is talking about Ghosts itself, and is, I guess, sort of a mini review thing. I don't know. I'm basically going to talk about the multiplayer and what I thought of it in my limited time, and really what went wrong, I guess. Because there's, like, Ghosts isn't, from what I played at least, it's not terrible. It's not the spawn of Satan. It's undoubtedly the worst Call of Duty game I've played. I think it's just bland and dull and boring and like there's nothing, right? It's not like it's horrible, but it's just like it's the definition of mediocre. And honestly, I think like games like that are just so bland and mediocre, honestly, they irritate me more than a game that is straight up terrible. So let's just talk about, I guess, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's go with that, because it's super cliche, and I don't know, it makes sense. So, there was actually some stuff I did like in Ghosts. One of the big ones, probably the biggest, is the new game type Search and Search and Rescue. I don't know what's going on with me right now. Anyway, Search and Rescue is this sort of twist on Search and Destroy and Kill Confirm, right? It's Search and Destroy, except when you die, you drop tags, your teammates have to pick yours up to revive you, or you pick up the enemies to eliminate them from the round for good. And that just adds a whole other level of sort of a cat and mouse game, trying to draw players out and make sure you don't get hit, trying to grab tags. And it just made it like really intense and kind of added to the Search and Destroy mode that, as much as it's considered a classic, it was kind of growing stale with the whole Call of Duty formula. So I honestly really enjoyed that. I think the new knife animation is an improvement where it takes a bit longer and you actually have to stab the guy, but it still has its issues with like huge lunge and hitbox lag issues, but we're going to get into that a bit later. But overall, it's an improvement. I know Sledgehammer said they're going to have an all-new melee system for Advanced Warfare, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Create a Soldier. That's another one of the things I really liked. Just added another level of customization. And, I don't know, customization options for me, I just enjoy that kind of stuff. When a game allows me to go absolutely crazy in customizing my character and my guns or my weapons, if it's not like a shooter, it just, I don't know, that honestly wraps me up more than the game itself sometimes. It's just, I just want to make everything look cool and blah, right? So Create a Soldier was something that I like that. I like that new level of customization. I hope it was a bit of a twist on the Pick 10 system in Black Ops 2, so hopefully something similar to that is retained in future games. And from what I experienced, I actually liked the new perk system, the different tiers and everything, but I think the stealth perk seemed a bit too strong compared to everything else. But of course, this was a multiplayer demo, so I was very limited in what I had access to. So that's what I liked, mostly. If you wanted to dumb it down, you can just say the rest of it I didn't like, which is a lot. But there's some stuff I'm going to point out. The field orders, which is new for Ghosts, neat idea, bad execution, in my opinion. They just kind of distract you from the rest of the game, and if you're playing, like, I guess that's fine in TDM, but when you're playing an objective game type, I just found it distracted you from everything else going on, and more often than not got you killed trying to do something stupid. So I'm not a fan of those. Cover lean was a neat idea, and I'm sure it's absolutely amazing to use in campaign, and it's something that I generally like in first-person shooters, but the way it's implemented in Ghosts, it kind of just felt like next-level head glitching in multiplayer, because you just see this little bit of them kind of peeking out around a corner, and rather than having to go in certain spots that people would eventually learn, like, oh, there's probably someone hiding behind that box and head glitching, they could do it around any corner, which was kind of irritating, but of course I didn't play the game long enough to really get any kind of hate on for it. As much as I'm saying here, I'm honestly totally indifferent to Ghosts. Hit detection, of course I mentioned that earlier, hit detection and lag are still an issue for some reason. Activision, you spend a lot of money on these games, they make a stupid amount of money. Quit being cheap bastards, I guess? That's all I got. And another thing that's just kind of silly. Dogs take more bullets to kill than humans for some reason. They're like, are they wearing like full bulletproof armor or something? Because like it takes 5 or 6 bullets to put them down sometimes. And then the stuff that I really actually despise. Map design has no logic to it. It really doesn't. It's terrible. The game ends up having no flow. What basically ended up happening... Yeah, of course, the demo only had 3 maps, so maybe there's some that are good. But from what I played and from what I've heard from other people, basically what happens is everyone just kind of runs around the outside of the map in a circle, fighting each other. And the entire middle of the map is deserted. Which is just the case because it seems like a lot of the maps are huge and you have 12 players and there are times where you can't find anyone, which is really... boring, I guess. It takes away from the action. One of the draws to Call of Duty is that it's all-out, frantic, close-quarters action. When you have these huge maps and so few players, it just doesn't work. And visually, the game is one of the blandest I've ever seen. Like, I'd put it on par with Metro Last Light in terms of games where it's like, wait, is there any color here? It's dull, and I'm sure it looks better on screen because of my color correction. I do, like, change the saturation and stuff, which helps. But when you're actually playing, it's just boring to look at, which is not a good thing because the game itself isn't all that thrilling. The formula, the core mechanics are identical to what they were in Modern Warfare 2, besides, like, cover lean and the slide. So, overall, it's like I said at the beginning, this isn't like the worst game ever made, like some people are saying. I would concede that it's probably the worst Call of Duty ever made, but it's still just like a mediocre game. It's not terrible, it's not awful, it's horrible. There are parts of the game that are terrible, but from what I've played, it's just like the definition of a mediocre video game. So I don't feel like I missed out on anything by skipping this game. I'm sure I got a little enjoyment out of 6 hours of the multiplayer demo, mostly because I was kicking ass and I had really good stats. But other than that, this game's totally skippable. I guess I'm tooting my own horn, patting myself on the back, whatever. I don't feel bad about skipping the game. So that's what I have to say about Ghost. That's my thoughts after 6 hours. If any of you subjected to yourself to this game, and I feel sorry for you if you did, let me know what you think in the comments below. What did you think of Ghost? Because this is the first time we've really had an opportunity to talk about this game on my channel. Like, comment, subscribe for more gaming videos and other stuff. I might have some Airsoft stuff coming soon. I know I keep saying that, but I might actually have some this time. Check out all the social media stuff below, Twitter, Facebook, and whatnot. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.